problems. This is just going through some more uses of the unitary method to solve rates. Rachel can type at 74 words per minute. A, how many words can she type in 15 minutes? B, how many words can she type in 2 hours? Let's solve problem A, and we always start by writing the rate. 74 words per minute. And that's already in a simplified rate because that's 74 words for 1 minute. If we wanted, we could add in writing per 1 minute. And then to solve these, if we hadn't simplified this already, we'd probably simplify that. So if we had been told it's 74 words in 2 minutes, we'd want to get down to 1 minute. But since it's already in a simplified rate, we're good. How many words can she type in 15 minutes? I'd suggest that you've got a bit of a blank here, and then it's words in 15 minutes. And what did we do to that 1 to get 15? We had to times that by 15 to get 15 minutes. We've got to do this times 15 as well, because if it's 74 words in 1 minute, it's going to be 15 lots of 74 in 15 minutes. We grab our calculator. 15 times 74, that's 1,110 words in 15 minutes. How many words can she type in 2 hours? We'd have to convert our rate. 74 words in 1 minute. We'd have to get up to words per hour. Now, 1 minute, how many minutes per hour? That would be 60. So to get to 60 minutes or 1 hour, how many words in 60 minutes, which is 1 hour? To get from 1 minute to 60 minutes, that's times 60. And of course, if she did 60 minutes of typing, she'd do 60 lots of 74. Definitely grab your calculator. 60 times 74. 4440 words in 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. Now that I've got it to 1 hour, the question wanted 2 hours. Now I could have been clever and gone up to 120 minutes here. Absolutely could have done that because that's 2 hours. But it's often really helpful to get it to one of the thing that you want and then do another one. So to get to 2 hours, how many words in 2 hours? From 1 hour to 2 hours, that's just times by 2. I'm going to times this by 2 as well. 8,880 words in 2 hours. So it's really helpful if you write your rate and then write underneath it what you want with the gap and what you're aiming for, and work out what you've got to multiply by. Adam sells about 60 donuts every 15 minutes from his shop. How long is it likely to take to sell 800 donuts? So, answering question A down here, you write the rate. 60 donuts in 15 minutes. That's not a simplified rate. So you simplify your rate first by dividing by the second thing. 60 divided by 15, 4. That's 4 donuts. Oops, I forgot the H. In 1 minute. Now, how long is it likely to take to sell 800 donuts? You do have a couple of options here. We could have written a rate as donuts per minute. We could have written a rate as minutes per donut, which would be 15 minutes for 60 donuts. Or we could still write our gap 800 donuts for some reason I don't want to spell donuts right today, in how many minutes? Now here is where we've got to use a little trick, because I've obviously done 4 times something to get to 800, and I have to do times the same thing on the other side, but it's a little bit harder to see what I multiplied it by. Now the trick, if you don't know, 4 times what is 800, is to divide it back. 800 divided by 4 will tell you what this should be. 200. 4 times 200 is 800, so I'm going to do times 200 over here as well. 1 times 200 is 200 minutes. So if you always set up your rate, simplify it, and then put in what you know and what you want, you can work out the multiplication to get what you want. Question B, how many donuts would be sold in 2 hours? Well, we've got our rate, 4 donuts in 1 minute. We worked out before that 2 hours is 120 minutes. How many donuts in 120 minutes? 1 times 120 is 120. So I've got to do 4 times 120 as well, which will be 480. So, your steps when you're solving rate and ratio problems. Write the rate or the ratio. This works for both of them. Simplify the rate or the ratio. Underneath, write what you know in the correct spot. And you multiply, use division trick if you need to.